Oh, them boys talking real heavy right now. Real heavy. Welcome to Sports Savvy TV. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you find yourself enjoying the video. Now let's get to it, man. Cris Carter, Hall of Fame wide receiver. He top 5 in my book. Yes, sir. CC was a problem, man. 130 touchdowns, 1,100 catches. He was a problem. Almost 14,000 receiving yards. He was one of the ones. His game is still being studied till this day. Some say, he has the best hands ever. I probably have to agree with that. CC was official. The only thing he don't have is a championship ring. But hey, everybody can't win him. CC was official. He's certified. This beef all started between Chad Johnson and Cris Carter when Cris Carter said that Chad Johnson, in so many words, was overrated. That he couldn't get open when he was with the New England Patriots and Tom Brady in a complex offense. He did all this work with the Cincinnati Bengals, and that he had never sniffed the Hall of Fame. Well, Chad Johnson didn't really appreciate that, or Asante Samuel. Asante Samuel played with the New England Patriots as a cornerback. He played alongside Ty Law as an off corner in the cover 2 defense. He was good. He won 2 Super Bowl rings. I'm going to repeat that. He was great alongside Ty Law. But he never guarded the other team's best wide receiver. This is a prime example why you should stay out of folks' business. Asante Samuel's not even qualified to even speak on them 2 boys. You never guarded either of them. Asante Samuel called himself taking up for Chad Johnson. You done threw your name in another man's beef. That's a no-no, sir. You ain't got nothing to do with that. Now, if someone mention your name, then you see what it's about. He done threw his name in these boys' beef, saying that Cris Carter was just a possession receiver. Try to make it seem like Cris Carter wouldn't that do. Somebody should have informed him Cris Carter was cold. And like Cris Carter responded to Asante Samuel, yes, I was a possession receiver, but I'm probably the best possession receiver of all time, going all the way back to my high school days. No, I didn't run a 4.2 or 4.3, but I ran a 4.4, 4.5, and my hands legendary, and I was consistent with the numbers to back it up. Cris Carter was letting them know what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. Chad Johnson was a star. He was cold. He played in one of the most hardest divisions ever. He used to get his dome rocked week by week and still balled out. We know his footwork is legendary. His hands up there with Cris Carter, but not better than his. He was nice. But we not about to sit here and make it seem like he was better than Cris Carter. Oh no, we not about to do that. Because there's a reason why Chad Johnson is not in the Hall of Fame. He was good, but he wasn't Hall of Fame good. That's all Cris Carter really was saying. But Chad Johnson, Asante Samuel, they sensitive. They took it the wrong way. Cris Carter stood on business. You feel me? Cris Carter, he got that serious personality. Chad Johnson, he got that playful, jokester personality. This is what happens when 2 guys like that clash. Me personally, I'm rolling with Cris Carter on this one. Chad was nice, but he wasn't Hall of Fame nice. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way Asante Samuel gonna just make it seem like, oh, you just was a second option and you did damage. You got a lot of touchdowns. Nah. Them touchdowns is what it's about. Believe that. They don't tell a whole story because Cris Carter just wasn't about touchdowns. That boy moved them chains. He did both great. You know? What makes Cris Carter better than him? You know? All this started because Chad Johnson interviewed Travis Hunter, and Chad Johnson was like, I give you 10 routes. 10 routes on you. You stop me one time, I give you a 90 rating. You know, joking around. And Cris Carter was like, on his podcast, he let it be known how he felt. You know, I be seeing a lot of folks, they don't like to keep it 100. If you're right or wrong. But in this case, Cris Carter's right. He let it be known how he felt. Asante Samuel ain't like that. You know? Because he cool with Chad Johnson. That's his boy. So we taking up for him. So he won't question Cris Carter's work. It's crazy. To sum this up, Cris Carter basically saying that Travis Hunter would lock Chris Johnson up a few times. I gotta agree with that. Travis Hunter is that dude, bro. The dude fast and he's smart. He quick. Chad Johnson is up there in age. You telling me 10 routes he can't stop him at least 3 times? I pay to see that. And Asante Samuel, you know, he rolling with Chad on this one. That's how all this little beef started, man. You know, nothing major. Just grown men defending up, taking up for themselves. And Asante Samuel throwing his nose in somebody else's beef. That's all this is right here. At the end of the day, Cris Carter is a better wide receiver than Chad Johnson. And Travis Hunter will lock Chad Johnson up multiple times in 10 attempts. For sure. It's not like Chris Johnson was a physical receiver or anything like that. Yeah, his feet was legendary. But, man, that boy fast. You know? I think he'll be able to stop at least twice. Come on now. This man is in the NFL, and you gonna tell me a guy who ain't been in the NFL a minute gonna dominate a guy who just getting in there like that? Nah. I'm an older guy, but I'm more smarter than that. I'm not about to disrespect Travis Hunter like that. No, indeed. He would definitely lock up Chad a few times in 10 attempts. For sure. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Could Travis Hunter lock up Chad Johnson in 10 attempts? Until next time, I see y'all on the next one.